Good morning, students. Welcome back into the another session of CS02 problem solving methodologies using programming in C. In our last lecture, we have discussed about looping control structure in programming in C, and we have started with the first type of looping control structure in C, that is while. For while, we have taken a various concept like definition of while loop, short description of while loop, syntax of while loop, and then we have created many programs using the while loop. And even I have given you some of the program for the practice. I hope all of you have done all that programs in your computer or mobile, and then you have written into the journals which you are maintaining. Now let's continue with another topic, that is exit level control statement, that is called as do while. Before going further about this exit level control statement, the while loop that we have completed is actually called as entry level control statement. So in university examination, the question may be asked like this: write a short note on entry level control statement. That means we have to write the details about while loop into the university examination. And even they can ask a straightforward question that write a short note on while loop also. So in both of these questions, the answer remains same. So just keep it in your mind that while loop is also called as entry level loop. Now let's continue with exit level control statement, that is called as do while. See, whatever we are going to discuss in do while doesn't make any meaning of the logic that we have implemented. Again, I would like to repeat my statements. Whatever the new concept comes in front of us, it's a facility, or you can say it's a new concept. It will not change the logic. 1 plus 1 always becomes 2 everywhere if you do it by while loop or if you do it by do while loop, right? So in do while loop, syntax will be changed, description will be changed, definition will be changed, but the logic remains same. So let's start. What is exit level control statement, or we can say that do while loop. Now exit level control statement, or we can say do while loop, is a control statement which works in this manner as far as the flowchart is concerned. As you can see in this flowchart, there is a first block of statement. That block of statement get executed by the program, and then it will check for the condition. If the condition is true, then that block of program will be executed, and if the condition is false, then that block of program will not be executed. Again, I would like to repeat my words. As you can see in this picture, in terms of flowchart, you can see that there is a first block of code and there is a condition checking on a next step. First, the block of code executes all the logical statements, and then it will check for the condition. If condition is true, then it's okay. This body of the program, or you can say the block of program, will get executed. But if the condition is false, then that body of the programs or block of programs will be not executed. So that is called as do while loop. Now the theory of do while loop is very simple. It's depend on this particular syntax. As you can see into the syntax of do while loop, do is the keyword, then there is an opening bracket and there is a closing bracket. In between that, we need to write a logical instruction set of the entire program with semicolon in each and every statement. Then at the last, there is a while another keyword in bracket condition, but at this time we have to mention the semicolon. Yes, over here after the while loop we have to mention the condition. This is the syntactical part of do while loop. Now what I have conveyed to you in a while loop, if you see the syntax of while loop, it's reverse than this. That means first there is a while, then condition without semicolon, then there is an opening bracket and closing bracket, and then in that opening and closing bracket there is a body of the statement. But in do while, this entire scenario becomes in a reverse case. That means first we have to write the do statement with body part, and then we have to go for checking the conditional part of this entire syntax using while, but it should be followed by semicolon. Why I have put a semicolon at last in this particular statement? Because condition is checking at the last point. That's why I have carry forwarded the semicolon over here. That's why I have carry forwarded the semicolon over here. So this is the syntactical part of do while loop. Just remember two main key parts of this particular syntax. Do is the keyword which becomes white whenever you type in C, or you can say in Turbo C. While is also the keyword which becomes white when you type in Turbo C. Then into the bracket specify the condition, and then without fail put a semicolon over here. This concludes the theoretical portion of do while. Now the theoretical portion of do while is as follows. In do while, first the body is executed and then condition is checked. If condition is true, then body is executed again. The body is executed again and again as long as the condition is true. The control moves out of loop once the condition is false. That means till the condition is true, the entire do statement will be repeated by the program. Once the condition becomes false, which is given into the while loop, the entire repetition of do statement will be terminated automatically by the compiler. Now the do while is an exit control looping control statement as the condition is written at last. This is the justification that why do while loop is called as exit level control statements. I would like to speak this last statement in Gujarati also. Do while statement ne exit level control statement શું કામ કહેવામાં આવ્યું છે? કેમ કે do while statement ની અંદર while loop માં જે condition આપેલી છે એ સૌથી છેલ્લે આપેલી છે, એટલા માટે do while statement ને exit level control statement કહેવામાં આવેલું છે. This is the justification of exit level loop. Now this was all about the syntax theory and the definition of exit level control statement called do while. Now we need to write some program which demonstrate how we can use practically the do while statement in a C. So let's start with the same by executing Turbo C. First I would like to write a very simple program which prints 1 to 5 number using do while loop. So my definition is write a program to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 using do while loop. Right? This is the program. So as per the definition of program, I would like to set the logic of the same. So for that, first here I need to declare a one variable called integer I is equals to 1, because the entire series starts with 1. Then there is a basic function CLR Then there is a do statement C. As I have written the do statement, the color of this do statement becomes white because it is a keyword. Then there is an opening and closing bracket. Just write down a printf statement, that is printf %d comma I, which prints 1 initially. Now we need to repeat this thing. So for that there is a condition while I less than equals to 5 with semicolon. But here I have forgotten to increment the value of I, because second time when the repetition comes, it should print 2 onto the screen, right? So I have written postfix increment operator, that is I++. Now let me save this code and compile the code. There are no syntactical error in this code. Now let's run the code. It will give you 1 2 3 4 5 onto the screen, but obviously generally we are printing all these 5 numbers in a separate line, so I am adding /n into the printf statement, which gives 1 2 3 4 5 onto the single line. So in this way this program prints 1 2 3 4 5 using do while loop. Now let's debug this particular code. First, just remember, just keep in mind I is equals to that. I is equals to 1, that means the value of I is equals to 1. Now this do statement will execute. Obviously it prints 1. 1 becomes 2. That means in this conditional part, actually the checking starts with the second number. Is 2 less than equals to 5? So condition becomes true. Yes, 2 is less than equals to 5. The repetition executes. It prints 2. Now 2 becomes 3. 3 is also less than 5. 3 will be printed onto the screen. 3 becomes 4. 4 is also less than equals to 5. Repetition prints the 4. 4 becomes 5. 5 is also is equals to 5. 5 will be printed. Now 5 becomes 6. But at that time, this while returns the false condition. That's why it terminates the code, and program gets terminated, will print 1 2 3 4 5 onto the screen, as you can see onto the screen. Now for better visibility of the code, let's go into the notepad and see the program. This is the program where it prints 1 2 3 4 5. Dilip bhai maro lecture chalu please. 1 2 3 4 5. Integer I is equals to 1. CLR SCR. Then there is a do statement, opening and closing bracket, printf %d/n. It prints the value of I, that is it prints the value of I is equals to 1. 1 is incremented by 2. 1 is incremented by 1. It prints 2. Then it checks for the condition that 2 is less than equals to 5. That condition is true. That means this entire statement gets repeated. Once the 2 is printed onto the screen, 2 becomes 3 by this I++. 3 is also less than equals to 5. It repeats and it prints 3 onto the screen. 3 becomes 4. 4 is also less than equals to 5. So 4 will be printed onto the screen. 4 becomes 5. 5 is also less than equals to 5. So it will be printed onto the screen. And 5 becomes 6. But for 6, this condition becomes false. So ultimately, this number is onto the screen as I have used /n. So it prints in this way onto the screen, that is 1 2 3 4 and 5. So this was all about how can we print 1 to 5 number using do value. Now let's have another example. Now in this example, what I want to do, I am changing the strategy of this entire program by just adding one advanced logical part in this entire program, that every time whenever we execute this program, it prints only 1 2 3 4 5. But I don't want this. I want user to enter any number from the keyboard, and for that particular number, this entire program prints the number. That means suppose user enters 7, then the output will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. If user enters 10, then it would be 1 to 10 numbers onto the screen. If user has entered 3, then it will print 1 2 3 onto the screen. That means I want to make my program dynamic. So one more variable over here I am declaring, that is integer I is equals to 1 comma n, then CLR SCR. Then first here I am checking the condition I less than equals to n, and after CLR SCR here I am writing one logical line, that is in printf enter your number scanf %d n %n, where n is the variable, or you can say n is the variable which accepts the natural number from the user. Let me check by compiling the code. Yes, there are no syntactical errors, so we can proceed with the further step. Here I am just modifying the definition, that is write a program to print 1 to n number using do while loop. Right? Now let's run the code. Program waits for the user to enter their numbers. Right? Say for example I am entering 7. Then loop will be repeated 2 to 7 times, and it prints 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 onto the screen as per the definition of program. This logic gives a proper output. Let me check for some another value. Right now I am giving very less value, that is 3. That means loop repeats only 2 times for 2 and 3, but the output is 1 2 3. So 1 2 3 is onto the screen. That means this program works perfectly. Now let's see this particular code for better visibility into the notepad. So C drive, turbo C, disk, turbo C3, bin, and I am opening the file called 2.c because I have saved the program with name called 2.c. This is the program. As you can see that there is a first line of code which is a commented part, shows write a program to print 1 to n number using do while loop. That's fine. Then there is a hash include stdio.h void main opening bracket as well as the closing bracket, integer I is equals to 1, that is my first initial number because my series should be starting with 1. Then I have to enter the natural number by the keyboard, so for that there is a variable called n. Then there is a basic function called CLR printf enter your number scanf %d n %n. Say for example here I am entering 5. Then there is a do statement with opening and closing bracket. There is a printf statement with /n, that is printf %d/n I, which prints 1 onto the screen. Now 1 becomes 2 over here. This while loop checks for one condition 2 is less than equals to n, that means 2 is less than equals to 5. Yes, this condition becomes true. Repetition goes up. 2 will be printed by this printf statement. Now 2 becomes 3. 3 is also less than 5. So 3 will be printed onto the screen. 3 becomes 4. Condition becomes true. 4 will be there onto the screen. 4 becomes 5. For 5 this condition is also true because 5 is less than or equals to 5. So 5 will be printed onto the screen. Now 5 becomes 6. But for this the condition that is I, that is 6, is not less than equals to n, that is 5. So program will be terminated, and finally it prints 1 2 3 4 5 in each and every new line onto the screen. So in this way this program will print 1 to n number using do while loop. Now let's do more practice using do while loop. Let me go back into the compiler. Now what I want to do is I want to print n to 1 number using do while loop. Again I am repeating my statements. I want to print n to 1 number using do while loop. That means what I have done in last program, I am printing 1 2 3 4 5 if my n number is 5. Now in this case what it will prints, if my number is 5, then it will print 5 4 3 2 1. So let's start with the program. This first line remains as it is, that is integer I is equals to 1 and n CLR SCR printf enter your number scanf %d and %n. Then I want to start with n number, so this statement will be changed. That means we have to write printf %d /n and n over here. That means it will print 5. Now 5 becomes 4, so over here I have to write I minus minus then I have to check, sorry, not I minus minus, there is my mistake, that is n minus minus. Then I have to check n greater than equals to 1. So over here one more variable will be removed also, no need to use I over here. Now there are no syntactical error. Let's run the code. I am entering 6. What it prints? Yes, it will print 6 5 4 3 2 and 1 onto the screen. So it's there onto the screen. Our program is correct. Now let's see this program in Notepad for better visibility. Fine, this is the code. First it will declare a one variable called n, then it will accept a one number from user. Say for example user have entered a number called 6. Then there is a do while statement. Do while statement first prints 6 as it is onto the screen. Now this 6 becomes 5 by n minus minus, and it will check that 5 is greater than equals to 1. So condition becomes true, repetition success, and it prints 5 onto the screen. Now 5 becomes 4. Even 4 is also greater than equals to 1. So 4 will be printed, then 3 will be printed, then 2 will be printed, and 1 also will be printed over here. Now 1 becomes 0, but for 0 this condition becomes false, and ultimately will get then output, that is 6 5 4 3 2 1. That is called as n to 1 number using do while loop. I hope all of you have a very clear cut idea about the logical statement called do while loop, as we have demonstrated a very too simple logical code for executing do while statements. Let's continue with some another codes. Next program is write a program to accept a number from user and display its factorial. Again I am repeating the definition. Write a program to accept a number from user and prints it factorial. Now obviously there is a one question in your mind that what does a factorial means. So it's very simple, we'll clear it out. Let me open the notepad for that. What does a factorial means? Suppose I am taking a number called 5. I am taking a number called 5. You can take any number, but I am taking 5. Now what process I have to do? 5, then 4, multiply by 4, 5 into 4, into 3, into 2, into 1. Whatever the outcome of this particular reversed multiplication is called as the factorial of 5. Now what will be the multiplication of all these numbers? That means let's multiply 5 with 4, then 4 with 3, that is 16, then with 2, 120, and with 1 obviously it becomes 120. So the factorial number of 5 is 120. If I enters 5 into the program, output will be 120. Now instead of this 5, say for example I have entered 6, for example 6, then only one change should I have to implement in this program. 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, whatever the output is there, you have to print it onto the screen. So I hope it's clear that what is the factorial of number. For 6, the factorial of number is 720. Now let's implement the logic for this particular program. Before going into the C, what will be the logic of this program? Say for example, let's take a 5. First I need 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, and then 1. Is it simple? For 5, what I need first? 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, and then 1. Obviously it's very simple because recently we have done the program for the same. It will print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 onto the screen. Instead of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you have to print 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now once this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is there onto the screen, every time whenever the next number print, it should be multiplied by previous number. That means first 5 will be printed, then 5 converted into the 4, but before it converts into the 4, first 5 will be printed onto the screen, then 5 will be converted into the 4, and 4 should be multiplied by 5, and this repetition should be done up to the last number called 1. And at last you have to print the multiplication of entire series, that will give you the factorial of number. So that is the logic of entire program. Now let's see how can we implement this particular program using do while statement. So let's start with C. Here I am changing the definition of program first. Write a program to print factorial of the number using do while loop. Fine. Now let me remove all this last code. I would like to write fresh lines. Fine. After writing the structure of C, here first variable that I am declaring is factorial is equals to 1, then I, and then j. I will conclude all these three variables. Why I have taken factorial is equals to 1, then I and j. But let me first write down the core part of this entire program. After CLR SCR, there is a do statement. Into the do statement, fact equals to fact multiply by I, fact equals to fact multiply by I. I need to declare the value of I also. Five, four, three, two, 1. That means here I need to declare the value of I is equals to 5. 5 into 5 into factorial into factorial into factorial multiply by I. Something is missing over here. Keep this thing as it is, no problem. Here reduce the value of I. 5 becomes 4. 4 into factorial. 5 into 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. Then while I greater than equals to 1 with semicolon. Let me check. I have some doubt. This program might require some changes. Let's run the code. It works for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Let's run. After this printf %d comma fact. I will tell you that why I have written printf statement out of the loop. Printf right. See, the output is correct, that is 124.5. Now let me change the value of I as 6. Then what will be the output for 6? We have decided that is 720, so it works. Factorial of the number is printing correctly onto the screen. That means our logic of the program is correct. Now let's learn this program step by step. This is step number 1. Here I have declared a one variable called fact as a 1 and I as a 6. That means factorial of the number called 6 will be printed onto the screen, right? We'll convert this program for n number also later on. First of all, what it does, fact equals to fact multiply by I done by the program. So what is the value of fact for the first time? That is 1. And what is the value of I? That is 6. So 1 multiplied by 6 becomes 6. Now 6 is reduced by 1 becomes 5. 5 is obviously greater than equals to 1. Loop repeats. Value of factorial is 6. I becomes 5. So 6 into 5, whatever the output is there, stores into the fact. 5 becomes 4, 4 is greater than equals to 1, then what it does, whatever the multiplication of 6 and 5 is now multiplied by 4, it repeats for 3, repeats for 2, it repeats for 1, and it will not repeat for 0. Ultimately, whatever the value of factorial is lastly manipulated by the program is printed by this particular statement onto the screen, that is 720, which is the factorial of number called 6. Now question comes in our mind that why I have not written this printf statement into the do while statement. For clearing this doubt, what I am doing is, here I am keeping this as a comment and I am placing this logical line inside the do while statement. Now see what happens onto the screen. Factorial 6 into 5 factorial 30, 30 multiplied by 4 factorial 120, 120 multiplied by 360, 4 720, and even finally it prints also 720 onto the screen. That means I don't want every time whatever the multiplication is there onto the screen, I need only the one final value of factorial onto the screen. That's why I have removed this printf statement inside the loop, from the loop, and I have placed out of the loop, which gives only the single number, that is factorial of the number is 720. Now let's see this particular code over the notepad for better visibility. This is very important for examination point of view. So I am opening in notepad. This is a program. Factorial is equals to 1, I is equals to 6. First value. It came inside the do. What is the value of fact? Obviously 1. What is the value of I? Obviously 6. So this fact, for first time it is 6. Now there is an I minus minus. So this I becomes 5. 5 is obviously greater than equals to 0. This loop repeats. Now what will be the value of I? Fact is 6. Value of I is what? 5. So 6 into 5 will be done. 5 becomes 4. Loop repeats. Here 6 into 5 into 4 will be done. 4 now becomes 3. The series continues for the 3 also. 3 becomes 2 because 2 is also greater than 1. Loop repeats. 3 into 2. 2 becomes 1. This loop is true. That means series continues for 1 also. Now this 1 becomes 0. This condition is false, and whatever the manipulation of this 6 into 5 into 4 into 1 is stored inside the variable called fact, which is printed by this particular statement called printf factorial percentage d comma fact, which prints 720 onto the screen. Finally the output is 720. So in this way program search for factorial of the number. I hope all of you have a very clear cut idea about that, how the factorial of number is executed by the logical line of code that I have implemented. Further more practice will do in next lecture. Till that, just try to digest whatever the programs that I have done practically in this demo lecture. Do it by yourself and note it down in your journal. Till that, thank you very much students for listening me, and have a nice day.